New poll out this week shows that the Democratic Party is in a world of trouble. Now, this poll was conducted by Suffolk University, and it basically broke down the popularity ratings of the Democratic Party compared to the Republican Party, Congress, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, and Mike Pence. So let me tell you the results, and then we'll break it down. Now, what you had here, actually, the most popular person on this poll was Mike Pence, with a 47% popularity rating and a 37% or 35% unpopularity rating. Now you had Donald Trump, which was next, with a 45% approval rating and a 47% disapproval rating. Now that's up. That is up by quite a bit, actually. So he's actually seen quite a big bump. The GOP is not faring quite as well. They're at a 37% popularity rating, approval rating, and a 48% disapproval rating. The media at 37% approval, 50% disapproval. The Democratic Party is at 36% approval and a 52% disapproval. Hillary Clinton, 35% approval, 55% disapproval, and Congress, everybody hates Congress. Everybody fucking hates Congress. So, look, again, here you have Donald Trump, who is still technically underwater, actually doing better in the polls than he had before, and Hillary Clinton doing worse. Disaster. Look at the Democrats, though. The Democratic Party as a whole. 36% approval rating. 52% unfavorable. Jesus. Why? It's pretty simple, man. They have not learned their lesson. Hillary Clinton, again, 35% unfavorable, or I'm sorry, favorable, 55 unfavorable. Now, look, this is funny because remember the election, right? This is somebody who polled better in the election than Donald Trump and won 3 million more votes. And now she is much more unpopular than Donald Trump. That, look, any Democrat should look at that and say that is an unmitigated disaster. An absolute disaster. And look, this shows what we have been saying on the progressive side all along. Hillary Clinton doesn't have any support, and she never had any support. Never had any support. Look, people don't like her. They don't trust her. They never have. She had zero excitement. There was nobody was excited for her. All she did is that she had a big name and a giant pile of money. And apparently that's all you need for the establishment to try to shove her down the country's throat. Look, I told you before, this during the primary, during the election. I live in Michigan, and during this election, I did my fair, my fair amount of travel. And I looked for signs. I looked for Hillary Clinton signs, and I saw none. Trump signs everywhere. Trump signs that I was like, oh man, if you're a Democrat, you should be really, really worried. You should be super worried about this. I don't see any Hillary Clinton signs. None. Come on. Come on. Now, again, I was worried even before that. I have videos going back to the primaries warning the Democrats not to nominate Hillary Clinton. I said she will absolutely lose. She will absolutely lose. Do not nominate Hillary Clinton. What did they do? Well, look, they nominated Hillary Clinton. I also said that if you keep taking big corporate money, the Democrats, and put up an establishment candidate, you are going to lose. You're absolutely going to lose. And that's exactly what happened. I'm not rubbing it in here. That's the last thing I want to do. I'm not happy Donald Trump is president. I'm frankly pissed off. I'm not happy that 24 million people are going to lose their health care, their health insurance. Okay, that thousands of people will end up dying from lack of health care. I'm not happy at all. I'm not happy that the rich are going to get richer under Donald Trump. I was trying to warn you so that you didn't make this mistake. And you know what happened? I got called a Bernie bro. Bernie bro. Sexist. All that bullshit. From just trying to warn the Democrats away from making the biggest political blunder in history. And that's what happened. And I watched a lot of my friends, good people, get called the same thing. These were women. These were people of color. And yes, also white guys. Okay? They all wanted to be part of the political revolution to make this country better. And you know what happened? The DNC fucking screwed them. That's what happened. And even after the election, the Democrats had a chance to push the party in a more progressive direction. And what did they do? What did they do? They put in Tom Perez as chair of the DNC. Tom fucking Perez, another member of the corporate establishment. They voted to continue taking money from large corporate donors. That was another vote that they did. No, disaster. Especially considering we just had an election where the corporate establishment was thoroughly rebuked by the entire country. How can the Democrats continue to double down on the very same failed strategy that cost them an entire presidential election? And it's not just a presidency, by the way. It cost them the White House, it cost them the Senate, and the Democratic Party all over the states has been absolutely fucking decimated. Come on, come on. Not only is losing to the boy King Trump a national embarrassment, but now polling even less than Trump and the Republicans, despite the fact that Republican policies exist only to solely fuck poor people in the ass so that the donors can make an extra buck. Incredibly embarrassing. They're fucking useless, the Democratic Party. Get your heads out of your asses, Democrats. You're a goddamn failure and a goddamn embarrassment to the country. FDR is rolling in his fucking grave right now. What an colossal failure. Colossal. You know what you got to do? You got to give people something to vote for, okay? Give people a vision. Bernie Sanders has a vision. Oh, but we didn't want that. We didn't want that. That's not realistic. And it involved not taking donor money. Too pie in the sky, man. We cannot have radical change. You know what we're going to have? The establishment. Status quo. Steady as we go. Let's not rock the boat. You know why? Because that upsets our donors. Our donors aren't going to make as much money. God. Look, you keep doing this, Democrats, and you will become completely irrelevant. You've got to stop. You've got to stop. You've got to give people a vision. You've got to get away from that corporate money. I mean, look, speaking of vision, right? Does anybody even know what the Democrats stand for anymore? Do they? Do you? I don't know. What did Hillary Clinton stand for? I don't know. And you know what? If I don't know following politics, how's the average person going to know? You know that most of Hillary Clinton's ads were negative, right? And they focus not on policy issues, but on how bad Donald Trump is, how bad of a person. Well, he's a racist, he's a sexist. You know what? All that stuff is true. But you don't run a campaign on that. That's a losing campaign. And it makes you look like a loser, which is exactly what the Democratic Party looks like now. A bunch of losers. And you know what they're doing now still? Oh, resist, resist, resist. We got to resist. We got to resist Trump. Everything he does. No, you know what you got to do? Yes, resist. Great. Great. But how about also showing us what you plan on doing? What's your plan to fix healthcare? How will you fix student loan debt? What are you going to do about it? How will you protect Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid? Are you going to raise the minimum wage? Are you going to fight for that? The progressive groups all over the country are fighting for that, are fighting for those very things. Where are the mainstream Democrats? Where are you? Where are you, Tom Perez? Are you out there fighting? Hell no. No, what they're doing is they're voting to take more corporate money. Shameful. Fucking disaster. God. And that's not even, look, the question here, and what most Americans want, are the politicians to stop taking corporate money and to stop being influenced by special interests. Is the Democratic Party going to do that? Going to stop doing that? No. They're going to keep taking that corporate money. And if you keep doing so, then you are fucking useless. Fucking useless. And you're going to continue to lose election after election. And maybe they don't care about that. Maybe all they care about is just to get the fucking money. And that's it. That's why we either replace them, or we build a new party, or we do both. Hey, look, maybe if we do both, and I'm a proponent of that, maybe we'll be successful one way or the other. If one thing fails, then you have something to back you up. But all I can say now, the Democrats are a fucking disaster. And if they don't do something to change, then they're going to continue being a disaster and continue losing to the worst people imaginable. Failures. Absolute fucking failures. God. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.